Hello, 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 and welcome to episode 3 of SkittleTalk this fine 26th of March 2018.
We're still here.
Third week in a row, yeah. What the heck?
We're hanging in there.
So this is the thing
we're
now.
Almost on time.
Is it official?
Almost on time.
Almost on time. Oh my god, technical difficulties, you know us. It wouldn't be us if it wasn't technical difficulties. For some reason, Twitch will not update the title. So apologies if it says I'm playing a hack and slash game. Let me just try changing it one last time. So what's everyone been up to?
Flying.
What's everyone...
Well, you know, it's been a busy week, busy work week. I think we've all been kind of exhausted after work.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Doing more than our share fare of
work. That thing that you have to do for money. Yeah, it's never ideal, but you know, it's got to be done. It's got to be done.
Got to be done.
Keeps us off the streets, I suppose, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure about you, Jamster. I'm sure you're probably still on the streets from time to time. I would imagine.
Well,
Pretty sure I've seen you sniffing around the bins from time to time.
And I know you two got to go see Tomb Raider in the end. I didn't get to go with you two.
Well, you were invited.
Talk about that later.
You were invited. But
I was invited, but I had to, go see my friend for her birthday.
Yeah, it was a bit of a last minute thing because originally we were supposed to go, and then the snow came down and said, "No, you're not going anywhere," because
I got refunded.
Trapped me in my little village.
Yeah. So that, mind you, James got funded for that. Believe it or not. Jamster, sorry.
Oh, okay. You're doing it now.
Yeah, so basically I went up to the counter and I said to her, can I transfer these tickets onto the new, on what we were just about to watch? And they were like, oh, if you didn't show up, they should have just been automatically put on. But it's weird because on the website it has a clear, literally written everywhere in all terms and conditions, no refunds or exchange. And I was just like, okay. I wish I could just change policies like that. That'd be easy.
It's so funny though because he practiced his best puppy dog eyes and he was like,
yeah, I did.
It was like,
I literally was like practicing a little bit of what I was going to say.
Please, can I have a refund? Oh, automatic, mate. Just check your bank. And he was like, oh, well. All that rehearsal for nothing, I guess.
Yeah, they're right. Damn it.
Yeah. So, well, that's maybe a good place to start then. Should we talk about the new Tomb Raider movie?
Okay.
Oh yeah, regale me with that.
Yeah. Do you want to start off, Jam?
Okay. Well, my opinion of it, I guess. I thought it was quite good. As a standalone film, if you were to watch it, it's half decent. The CGI I could have done with a bit of work, my opinion.
You're obsessed with that CGI.
Yeah, but CGI, but not CGI. CGI. But it could have done with a little bit of work, I think. But the story was, you knew what was going to happen like 3 seconds before it happened. It was kind of, I don't know the word, linear.
Well,
I guess.
My problem is there wasn't really much story, to be honest.
Yeah, you kind of
story?
Just. It's literally exactly how the game works. Like, if you've played any of the Tomb Raider games, you have a mission. You basically at the beginning of the game, your ship blows up or your plane crashes or whatever, and then you try and find a tomb, you explore it, and then you get out. But in the game, you do that like loads and loads of different times, whereas in the movie, you just did it once. Some guy got shot and stuff.
There wasn't a lot of action in the film either. Sorry, Hells.
Was she quite as much of a kicked puppy as she is in the games? Because in the new games, she's like, she doesn't get a break.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
She was a little bit of a ninja.
Well,
as far as
I felt like Squeenix, good old Square Enix, had a big say in the image that was portrayed, because this was definitely the new Lara Croft in the last two games. So they basically went back in time, didn't they, and told a prequel.
My granddad, Lara Croft.
Yeah, they told this prequel Lara Croft who somehow could like wipe out an entire island with one bow and arrow, even though she wasn't that like tough back when she was, raiding tombs later on down the line in the earlier games, which was supposed to have come after that timeline. So I didn't think that made much sense. It was basically just their way of saying, ooh, Uncharted's doing well, let's make it more like Uncharted. It was. I'm sorry, but it was. And I was like, no, Tomb Raider is Tomb Raider. I like Tomb Raider for the puzzles. I like Tomb Raider for what makes it different from Uncharted. Stop copying off Uncharted because Uncharted's always going to be better. If you know what I mean? If you want to make a third-person shooter, then make a new IP. Don't make the next Lara, the next Tomb Raider, the rip-off of Uncharted. But the thing is, as action-based as that was, the movie, they presented the same appearance of that Lara Croft, but she was useless and there wasn't that much action in it. So I was like, wait a minute, we've got a watered-down, non-action-based Lara who looks like the action Lara that we were getting from the Uncharted. So I was just like, oh, this just doesn't fit. It just doesn't feel right. Like, give me one or the other. Do you know what I mean? Give me either the Tomb Raider from the old days with the Angelina Jolie with the big fake boobs, raiding tombs and lots of action, or give me the Uncharted Lara who's going to wipe out an entire island with one bow and arrow. But this was neither. This was just like, I don't know. They couldn't really make their mind up what they were doing.
Quick time events in the movie.
Well, there were. You weren't paying attention.
I played the Tomb Raider game for like 5 minutes, and then I literally just rage quit because the amount of times you have to click these damn buttons to do simple things, or to craft, or you have to duck under it. Why not just duck under it? Like, how difficult is that in a game?
I mean, they had that in the remakes of the old games, though. They had a lot of quick time events.
I hate them so much.
No, I don't know. I feel like they came along a little bit later. But the thing that upset me about the new Tomb Raider is that they decided to hop on the open world bandwagon with the latest one. And some games do not work as well open world. And for me,
I'll give you that.
Tomb Raider is one of them. You copied Uncharted's formula, but the reason Uncharted works is because it's linear. Okay, so they give you a very interactive experience. It's very managed, it's very controlled, and everything is tightly packed. Everything is really finely tuned in those small areas that you're confined to.
There's a very clear way forward.
Yeah, whereas they literally just took a big open world and were like, "Ooh, here's a thing you can climb, and here's some people a bandit camp you can wipe out, and here's some armor or things you can craft." And I don't know, it was just like, it just felt a little bit like, I don't know, paint by numbers Tomb Raider. And I was like, this doesn't work as an open world game. Tomb Raider works much better linear. You already borrowed from the Uncharted formula, so why make it an open world version of that type of game? You can't have everything. Decide what you're doing. And
I guess they wanted to add more, because obviously when you make a game open world, well, their version of open world was kind of like linear, but with a little bit of like branching kind of exploration. It's probably just to add more like physical game time, because obviously if they make it slightly open world, they can add more collectibles and all that kind of stuff. It kind of fills up more with more stuff you can play. Whereas if it's completely linear, then you're going to walk past the same collectible like in a ride. There's not really any kind of finding, and then
but that's
replayability at all.
But that's the Assassin's Creed version of padding, and I mean, I'm all for collectible. Don't get me wrong. Like, I am a big collectible person. I attempted to get all the collectibles in Breath of the Wild and couldn't bring myself to do those same puzzles over and over again. But I mean, the collectibles in Assassin's Creed, and just the collectibles in those sorts of games in general, get so tedious, and it's such a bad way of padding out games.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, if you're going to make an open world, you've got to have something like lots to fill it. And the only two games that have managed, the only two IPs that have managed it for me are Witcher and GTA. And every other open world game should be a linear game, in my opinion. That's a very bold thing to say. Maybe maybe there's a lot of other games out there that I'm not thinking about. But off the top of my head, like that, you know what I mean? Those are the games that get it right. If you can't be randomly shot anywhere on the map and be absolutely surrounded by, wow, look at all this stuff to do, then you're doing open world games wrong. If you're not like, oh my god, what's over here? Oh my god, I can cause right over here. Oh my god, I can do this. Oh my god, I can do that, without any structure, and you can just sandbox the hell out of that and have lots of fun doing it, then you're doing open world right. But if you have to go to the next objective marker, or look for the next piece of fun, or traverse for like hours and hours, like in Skyrim. Sorry, HellsFiction, I know you're a big Bethesda fan, but let's face it.
I feel like you're targeting me here.
I am. Then you're doing open world wrong, in my opinion. But
See,
Sorry.
Yeah, that is where we're very. I mean, in terms of the story aspect, I think we agree a lot in terms of games. We have the same sort of preferences in terms of what a story should hit on.
Yeah.
In terms of the actual gameplay factor, I love the traveling about, searching for stuff. I love the fact that Skyrim and Fallout just have stories that have no quest attached to them. There's nothing attached to them. They're just little stories in and of themselves that you can just stumble across.
Yeah.
But actually, even that, the new Tomb Raider games don't even have that.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
They don't.
No.
I agree.
I think there's one scheduled to come out next year or the end of this year. Wonder how that one's going to be. I hope they don't mess it up as well.
It's interesting. It is. Yeah, I want to talk about that as well. But it's interesting you say that. I just want to go back on what you just said there as well. Tomb Raider, linear Tomb Raider got it right, but they didn't have the story. We didn't play Tomb Raider for the story. Even the linear Tomb Raiders didn't have the story and the narrative. It's not like they've lost the narrative. Tomb Raider doesn't have to have a really strong narrative. What made Tomb Raider back then was the tombs, the linear. I mean, oh my god, the best one was Underworld. When that just takes you into this world, and there are so many times I've played that game so many times, and there are so many times where I'm playing that game and I just feel like, oh my god. How deep into this tomb am I? Like, I can't remember where I got in. And then, like, when you sneak through some crack and then you suddenly realize you've done like a big 360 and you're back near the entrance, but you're like on the other side or something. And that moment when you're like, wow, this place is huge. And oh my God, I've been in every nook and cranny and like I've been here for hours and I'm still in this one same tomb. That was the moment for me when I'm like, oh my god, I love this world. I could live here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what Tomb Raider had. It had. But they couldn't do that with the big open world. They've lost that. They've lost that kind of wonder and amazement and like, oh my god, where am I? I'm lost. I have no idea where I am. But I'm loving every minute of it because I don't know how to solve this tomb. And they've just lost that for me. It's just...
Yeah.
But yeah, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is the new one. What do we know about it? Not a lot.
We know very little about it. We know that it's coming out surprisingly soon.
It was announced
on a Square Enix game.
Sorry, Hells, go on.
No, you go.
Well, I just collected very little information that we have on it. Is
Hi, JD. My sister asked for a shout out.
I thought your sister said she couldn't think of anything worse than watching our live stream.
Yeah, she did. But which
is fair enough because she's not into games, so it's fine. I did make notes and now they're gone. But yeah, I think it was announced on the 15th of March with a trailer. The first I'd heard of it was in the movie theater. And when I Googled it, there wasn't an awful lot on the internet in general. And it's guaranteed for, when was it? September release? October or something? This year. It's coming this year. But I hope it's not open world. Or if it is, at least make it good open world. But I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's an open world game. I just think they've ruined it by making it open world.
Touching our buns is saying that Far Cry had some good open worlds, and I will say, I mean,
absolutely,
absolutely. I only played so far. I've only played, I think it's Far Cry 4. Yeah, Far Cry 4. And unfortunately, I didn't even play that to completion. I kind of trailed off very early into playing it, but Far Cry was one of those games where, again, I kind of just lost the actual story part of it, and I just went off and did my own thing.
Yeah.
So like I say, that's the whole point of the open world games, is that you can do that. You don't have to always follow the storyline directly. That you can always, there's loads of other stuff you can do without having to follow that. But then Far Cry had a limiting factor with those towers, where you had to do. You couldn't just explore the whole world that you wanted to. You had to keep doing these random missions that didn't mean anything before you could actually go out. Whereas in the new Far Cry 5 that's coming out, that I was going to talk about in a bit, they've completely got rid of the whole tower system. And
they needed
to
just
get in a plane and fly wherever you like.
Yeah, they needed
to. So it's much better.
It was feeling too much like a Ubisoft game. It was feeling too much like an Assassin's Creed. Ooh, climb the tower. Ooh, unlock this. It was a bit too formulaic for me. But very Very controversial. Far Cry Primal was crap. To be fair, though, Bruce Banner, that was a spin-off. It wasn't really a fully fledged Far Cry game. I avoided it until I saw it dirt cheap, and then when I got it dirt cheap, I got to admit, I was impressed by how different, considering that was the Far Cry 4 map with a fresh layer of paint. I was impressed by how different it was, how you couldn't tell that was Far Cry 4 with a layer of paint. But yeah, full price title, absolute rip-off, agree with you. But if you pick it up cheap like I did, it's good. I loved running around clubbing people on the head with my club. I thought it was great. But yeah, it outstays its welcome pretty quickly, I've got to be honest.
Yeah, Far Cry Primal is one of those ones where I got really excited for it when I was seeing all the trailers for it, but my interest just died as it actually came out and I saw the actual footage.
Yeah. I agree with that. I was pretty looking forward to it as well, and then when it comes out initially, they charge so much for it, and then you just wait
it was
a
full
little bit
price,
just for the price to drop, and then it's just
I think it was a full price title.
Nobody ever talks about it. That's what's delaying me from picking up the Far Cry 5 that released today. Oh yeah, Far Cry 5 released.
Did it come out today?
Yeah, it came out today.
Oh really? Oh wow! I didn't even know.
No,
I don't know.
Sure
Let's find out. Let's find out.
Pretty sure I double checked on Uplay. It's coming out today.
Okay.
Let me I don't
I'm
trust
making a
anything
huge
you
mistake,
say.
but I'm pretty sure Sam was somebody I know was installing it today. So
27th of March, which is tomorrow.
Oh,
sorry,
never mind.
Jamster, you're wrong.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Is that
really? Is that on? Where's that though? Where's it?
That's probably midnight tonight. I would imagine it'll probably unlock midnight tonight.
Right. What I imagine is happening is just oh, who else did that? I think
pre-download or something at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. The pre-download where actually you have it all downloaded and then it just installs the last.
I really like that. And then if you wait right to midnight, 1 minute past, you click on that damn play button and just get to it.
Yeah. That actually is
now I gotta
pretty
wait
cool.
3 days for it to install.
I mean, I say that's cool. I never buy games when they're released, other than Nintendo games, because I'm a Nintendo sucker.
You are.
Yeah, I think that is cool.
You are.
I stopped pre-ordering games after No Man's Sky.
I liked it today. I can install it. Yeah, I'd imagine you can't play it until after midnight. Although I would imagine touching the buttons, unless you have some kind of special secret we don't know about. Juicy.
Yeah, I said I can install it.
Right. Okay then. So, what's everyone been playing this week?
I'm really excited to talk about what I've been playing this week
because go on. Please.
I played, and I don't know how this slipped under my radar for so long, because something about me, something that my friends know, I adore story-heavy games. I love open world games. I love games I can just wander off on, but nothing gets better to me. Nothing is better to me than super heavy story games.
Yeah.
And I recently played a very, just a walking sim, basically. Edith, What Remains of Edith Finch. And I have no idea how it slipped under my radar, because it's such a fantastic story.
Yeah, I played it 3 or 4 times because it was so good. It was so good, that game. It's one of those games that left me feeling like, oh my god, I experienced that rather than just played it.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's because this is the thing. It's walking simulators are so hard to do right, because you're already taking out a aspect of interaction in the choices we're making. But there were so many moments of What Remains of Edith Finch that at no point did I feel my choices were being taken away by it being a linear path.
Yeah.
It's it felt like I had full autonomy of my actions, and I think part of it is just they made. I mean, the actual setting of it and the house and everything is so interesting that I just wanted to explore it. And the fact that that is what we're basically doing, we're just exploring this house and looking around and finding the secrets. It felt so natural to just go ahead and do what the game is basically wanting you to do.
Yeah. It won Game of the Year Narrative Award, and I was so pleased when it did, because that game really did deserve it. And I feel like it played so much with the mechanics as well. like the guy with the fish, and you're controlling two things at once. That was
Yes.
the original. The flying and being the cat, and Molly at the very beginning, like you turn into a cat and then you turn into a bird and an owl and you swoop. And at this point I was just like, oh my God, this is brilliant. I was expecting a walking sim and I was down for it. And then as soon as it started doing that, I was like, wow, this is amazing.
It's what I will say. There's one story in there which it was actually a pretty simple, well, not simple, but a pretty short story in terms of everything else. Because, you know, a lot of the stories were, you know, you're taking the pictures, and when you take the right picture, then it progresses. And there's the flip book, which was a really interesting really abstract way of telling the story. And you're still kind of like, well, I've still got no idea what actually happened to him. And they never quite answered that question either, which I'll get to that. But the story which got me the most was Calvin on the swing.
Oh, really? That was was that your favorite?
Yeah, because I had a moment of realization while I was doing it, where I was, you know, like I was getting him to go on the swing, I was pushing him forwards and backwards on the swing, and I was thinking, I know what's going to happen, because I had a sudden realization of I had seen that clip before. I hadn't realized what game it was for, but I'd seen the clip before of him swinging forward and backwards and then going around and flying off. Right. And I knew exactly what was going to happen, and I was kind of thinking to myself, I could actually stop. I could actually just lift my hand and stop this right now. But at no point did I actually want to do that.
You wanted to see it happen.
Everything.
It was such an intense moment.
Yeah. I think the baby thing, the baby thing for me always gets me. That was very vivid and very... The thing is, for such a grim thing that they were showing you, you know, the death of a newborn baby, even that was done in such a kind of... enlightening
way.
Yeah, it was like it could have been like you could have finished playing that bit and felt like, oh my God, I want to slip my wrist, because you know the actual subject matter itself, but they did it in such a way where it almost felt like you were this baby and you were liberated and it was your fate, and I don't know, you had that imagination of the bit. I was like, wow, this game, wow.
And what I will say, that moment when you're playing the baby and you kind of, you know, you're listening to, what's her name, Kay? Sam's wife, arguing with Sam on the phone. Have you ever played, it's a horror game called Beyond the Sleep?
Yes, I've completed that, yes.
I had like huge flashback moments to that during that, because it's like, but it's the flip side of that, I feel, because obviously Among the Sleep was through the eyes of a child who was in, you know, a very unstable home and who was picturing the things around him happening as demonic stuff. This was the opposite. Again, it wasn't a stable home, but it was just the innocence and naivety of a child.
Yeah, I like that.
So the exact same concept, but switched on its head.
Yeah, no, I think you're making a good point there. It was very interesting. Yeah, have you not played it, Jamster?
I have not played it, no, I haven't actually. I think I might have that on my to-do list.
I would definitely highly recommend it. I think anybody who has any respect for narrative and video games as an art form, you know, as a way to deliver an experience and a narrative and emotion, needs to play that game, which is pretty much I think anybody who has any respect for video games above
and
what the
and on top of that, you know, it's not a long game. Like, you know, I think I put in a couple of extra hours more than I needed to, because I went back and I unlocked all the achievements. But it's not a long game. I think you could really finish it in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
You'd be missing a lot of the background narrative if you did so, but you could certainly just go through the entire thing, enjoy it to a reasonable amount in a couple of hours. It's not very expensive either. I mean, I got it on sale. I got it for like £7.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it like as little as about £7 or £8, I think, on PlayStation. And I'm like, oh my God, that's a bargain. It's such a good game.
Yeah, it's such a great story, and Yeah, and I think it actually is one that I don't often go back to very story-heavy games.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I can see S. Ghostly has just.
Yeah, I was just reading that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
it's. But I think this is one I will go back to because there's so much there that I think I'll understand more if I'm going through a second time. And also, I think there's like, there's hidden secrets, not hidden secrets, but like there's a hidden narrative there that I want to try and figure out.
Yeah.
I think the best place to go from that would be on the narrative story that we've been playing. Skittle, the A Way Out.
A Way Out, yeah.
Because that's been very similar in like narrative, like kind of. I guess it's not really exploratory, but yeah, it's been pretty cool. What do you think of it?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's interesting. It's fun. We had a lot of fun. There's a lot of bugs. Yeah, it's a little buggy in parts, and I got stuck.
Yeah.
Do you remember when I got stuck in the window and then connecting and things like that? It's definitely buggy, but it's it's brand new. They'll probably iron some of that out. It's a lot of fun though. Definitely, I'm looking forward to doing the rest of it. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's very like I say. I haven't played a co-op game where you've actually had to rely on your actual partner that much. Like, I know there's a lot of co-op games where like you attack a certain target together, or you just do stuff, but you could just do it on your own. But this is literally physically impossible. You can't play it on your own. Because it forces you into that kind of gameplay. Like I say, I was having to rely on you, and you were having to rely on me in order to do like the particular tasks and stuff like that, like clicking buttons at the same time and stuff like that. It was quite interesting when we were trying to climb up the top of that shaft, and we just couldn't get our timings right, and we ended up failing like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. No, they've done some clever things with that. Like you say, they've made it so that you really have to work together, rely on each other, but not in the way that we played. What was that other game we played? Where it was all about communication, where you were a librarian and I was an adventurer. What was that called?
Oh, We Are Here.
Yeah, We Were Here.
Yeah.
I only remember that because I remember you put in your stream the I wish we weren't.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason I recognize that.
Well, Jamster sucks. Well, to be fair, so do I. But we suck at.
Excuse me, I don't like you.
We suck at communication, okay? In these games,
well, we already know that, and that's what makes it interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'll still play them, don't worry. It probably makes
we got to finish that off in the next few days or so. I've just been so busy.
Yeah, but this is the opposite of that.
Yeah,
no, that's fine. I mean, I've had things to do as well. But
we can probably play some tomorrow the next day.
For this one, this one's more mechanically relying. We have to rely on like providing the other half of each other's mechanics for that one.
Yeah. But it's quite interesting, like in this like shopping cart part where we had to like cover me in sheets and stuff like that. Like some of the things aren't quite clear. Like I say, it's a little bit buggy because it doesn't really tell you how many you need to put in. Or apparently, I didn't realize you had to press and hold the button. That would be helpful to have a little pop up that told me I had to hold the button.
What's that for?
Because I was just like making it go up and down constantly, and then we drove through and I got caught like twice. But, yeah, I think you would like it, HellsFiction. We could play it together. I think it would be pretty good.
I will say I don't actually often play many games with other people. I'm a very solo gamer normally.
Really? Oh God, me too. Yeah.
I think the only exception to that was once when I played. Playing Armello with you guys has been really fun actually.
Yeah,
but
that's been fun.
Yeah, the only other exception to my more solo take on gaming was actually Left 4 Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Which I discovered was so much more fun playing with other people.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think
otherwise it's a bit boring.
I think it depends on the game that you're playing, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what else I found interesting about A Way Out, which really surprised me actually, is when I went to buy the game and download it, I noticed it said because I was working that day and Jamster was off all day and he'd bought it the night before and was supposed to be downloading it while I was at work,
whole day installing, but didn't.
Anyway, long story short, I noticed right underneath the Buy Now button, which I thought was really good of them, right underneath the Buy Now button, it actually said, play for free if a friend owns the game by accepting an invite. And I was like, Oh, so Jamster's
Yeah,
bought
so I
it.
paid 20.
So
I
if-
paid how much it was, and he just got to play for free.
Excuse me, I offered to pay half, and you were like, "No, I'm the big man."
Oh, okay.
I'm the big
Buy me a
man.
coffee when we get away.
And then he was like, "You bitch! I paid for you," and he just like whipped me on. Which I enjoyed, but no, yeah, seriously, I thought that was pretty good. I mean, they could have made us both pay 25 quid, which is like the price of a standard AAA game anyway. So it's a little cheaper than a normal AAA game. I don't know what it's like lengthwise because I don't know how far into it we are. I feel like we're at least halfway through it though. Do you?
Definitely, yeah. I'd say we're more like 2/3.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the escaping of the prison was the main part of the story, and that did take. I think we're playing it for 4 hours. So if we had another 2 hours on top of that to make it 6, I'd say that's fair enough.
Yeah.
For the amount that you're paying for it.
But yeah, I thought that was nice of them to sort of let you just sort of play along for free. So yeah, Jamster's right because he owns the game. If you wanted to play it with Jamster, you could actually do it for
it's free. So
which I think is quite nice. Why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Well,
also,
excuse me.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I mean, you two working together is one thing. I'm not sure how long me and Jam could work together before I try to kill him.
Yeah, he's very hard to tolerate, as you know. What are you holding, by the way? What is that creature?
This is Poplio.
Poplio.
My best friend gave him to me for Christmas because she found out that I was restarting Sun and Moon and doing a Nuzlocke run.
Oh, is it a Pokemon?
Yeah, it's Pokemon.
Right.
It's a Pokemon.
Okay.
It's one of the I say new. Pokemon Sun and Moon has been out for a while now.
Yeah.
It's one of the starters from the most recent game.
Right.
And actually, I've got Rowler somewhere as well, which was my original starter. If I go through this pile,
have we had a Pokemon on Switch yet? We haven't, have we?
There is actually. I'll talk about that in a moment because I need to pull up the actual information about it.
Right.
There is supposed to be a Pokemon coming out. I mean, there's Pokken Tournament on the Switch, which is like a fighting, like a classic style fighting game, but with Pokemon.
Really? Oh my god! Yeah. No. There's isn't it Pokemon that's the detective, the Pikachu detective?
Pikachu detective.
Oh my god, I saw that and I was like, now there's another reason that I want to switch because that looks amazing. Yeah, let's see if I can bring this up.
Pikachu detective is actually on 3DS.
Let's talk about Pokemon Detective. I'll tell you what. Let's just do a Pokemon. Tell us everything, Hells. Tell me.
Tell you everything. You really want to do that. You really want.
I really
to
do.
Get
I want you to educate both me and the other ignoramuses out there who've never played Pokemon.
I have never played Pokemon either.
The joys of Pokemon.
I've never played a single Pokemon game.
I mean, I dabbled with that. What was that mobile one that everybody went crazy over for a while?
Pokemon Go.
That was it. I dabbled with that for about a day and then I got bored.
I sometimes go back to. I briefly went back to it for a while because they released the Hoenn Pokemon.
Detective Pikachu.
That's third generation for you two non-Pokemon plebs.
Yeah. Hey.
But yeah, so it's
rude.
The Gen 3 was like when I really started to get into Pokemon. I mean, I was always into Pokemon ever since I was a little kid. Like my first actual proper game was Pokemon because I started off playing on the original Game Boy, like, the grey bricks. My granddad had 2 of those. So I would play, I'd play Super Mario and Tetris. And what else did I play on that? Space Invaders. I'd play on that a lot.
Oh, wow.
And then there was also a golf game, which my granddad had, which I never played.
Two very classic ones.
Yeah. And from there, like, my mum and dad got me, that fateful day, they got me a Game Boy Color and Pokemon Red to go with it. And I never looked back. So, yeah, I've always been into Pokemon and all of that. But Pikachu Detective, which it's not been a recent release. I think it was released about a week, 2 weeks ago, something like that. But it is basically, he is a talking Pokemon. He's a talking Pikachu. He's super gruff. He's got the whole detective thing down. I love it. It's scratching 2 itches at the moment because obviously you guys know for the last couple of weeks I've been obsessed with detective stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
I've been super into the whole detective thing, and so like Pikachu Detective, it's got a certain niche for that scratching for me, and I'm going as soon as it arrives for me, that is what I'm going to be playing. So I think next week I'm just going to be talking about that.
So
not going to have any indie games to talk about, just Pikachu Detective.
So what do we know about it then? Is it an actual? Is it like a Pikachu Sherlock Holmes game?
Yeah,
you've got like cases to solve.
Yeah, so it's you play as Detective Pikachu, and you go around and you solve. As far as I can see, there's not like a big a big conspiracy to uncover or anything. They're just little cases that you're solving for all your Pokemon friend.
Do you control that tiny little pot? Because I'm just looking at the video now, and it's just you're just this tiny little pleb, just like walking around.
Yeah,
you're the boy, aren't you? It looks like you're the boy rather than the Pikachu. Because I'd want to be Pikachu.
Oh, I'm going to be really upset with the boy instead of I want to be Detective Pikachu.
I know I want to be Detective Pikachu.
I want to play Detective Pikachu. I want to be... If I'm playing a game called Detective Pikachu, I want to play the Pikachu.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That would be a big...
I better not be.
Yeah, that would be... Boxy. They'd have missed an opportunity.
Probably do with like a fluffy tail or something.
No, Pikachu's tail has always been... I mean, female Pikachus have a...
Female Pikachus?
Yeah, female Pikachu. This is actually really interesting. I mean, it's okay. That is a lie. It's not interesting. It's interesting for me. There's in Pokemon, some females, some males have certain characteristics, and female Pikachus have at the end of their tail, it curves off into a heart shape. That's how you can tell if it's a female or a male Pikachu. Male Pikachus have straight, female Pikachus have a heart.
I don't want to know how they breed.
That's good to know. If I ever meet one in the wild, I don't know which one to go after.
Don't go into the details on breeding. I really don't want to know.
I mean, there actually is a huge breeding metagame in Pokemon. You don't even know.
I really don't want to know. Please, don't give me nightmares.
For weeks really? with my hacked in perfect IV Ditto. I was breeding with a Lopunny, trying to get the perfect Bunnery and Shiny, and
you shouldn't pronounce it like that.
I don't even know what any of these words
are.
I'm
breeding with a
Bunnery? Lopunny?
Bunnery. Okay, so no, Lopunny.
Lopunny? What?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite Pokemon. And I'm not particularly proud that it's one of my favorite Pokemon because they're based off of Playboy bunnies.
Right.
That's not even a joke. If you look it up, do not do a Google image search. Right. It's one of those Pokemon. Don't do a Google image search of it.
You're gonna get a lot of fan art that's suggestive. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let me write that down for later. What's it called again? Off stream. It's just research. It's all research. Yeah, I want to play. Now there's just another reason that I want to get a Switch. Like Detective Pikachu, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh my god, that sounds like the best thing in the world. Yeah. And I've never even played a Pokemon game, but just Detective Pikachu, that's just genius. I've got to say, that's just genius.
Also, I may actually buy my very first amiibo, because they've got a Detective Pikachu amiibo, which is like bigger than normal amiibos. Oh my
gosh, really?
Wow.
I've never bought one, but I might actually get one.
Yeah.
They might have caught me on this.
Yeah. What do you think about being a Nintendo fan? What do you think about, what's that cardboard thing called?
Oh, Nintendo Labo.
Labo. Yeah, what do you think about Labo?
So I actually have been looking into it. I don't think it's something that I would be into. But it does. So basically, it looks like they're trying to do a cheaper, more interactive version of what they tried to do with the Wii. Right. So with the Wii, obviously you had your Wii remote, and you could buy all of these things that you just slip the remote into. So you could buy a tennis racket and a golf club and
I think I've seen them, plastic things.
Yeah, and like a crossbow and stuff that you just slip the Wii remote into.
Sleepy Time's asking what an amiibo is.
An amiibo is it's a Nintendo figurine, and for a lot of people it's been pretty good anyway, just because there aren't actually really any many, I should say, high quality Nintendo figurines. That's not ones that you can get easily outside of Japan anyway. Nintendo have been kind of weird over that. You'd think they'd want to jump onto figurines and stuff as a great merchandising thing, but they didn't really touch on that at all. And so amiibos, they fill that itch that a lot of people have of collecting merchandise and figures and stuff, but also they unlock stuff with games. So you can, if you're playing like Smash Bros, for instance, and you've got an amiibo, you can unlock stuff in Smash Bros. And if you've got the biggest example that comes to mind is Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
Because if you've got certain Legend of Zelda amiibos, you can unlock stuff like Epona, Link's original horse, or the wolf that you play, the wolf Link you play in Twilight Princess. So that's the biggest example that really comes to my mind, and that's really cool in-game content you can unlock if you've got these figures, basically, which people like to collect anyway.
That's a good idea. I think the Nintendo Labo is a good idea. Some people are complaining, saying, "Oh well, the kids are going to break it because it's made of cardboard." Kids are going to break plastic as well, though. And I mean, okay, it seems a little highly priced for just some cardboard, but I don't know, how much would you pay for the plastic counterparts? You know what I mean? You're probably going to be paying more. Yeah. So. And it's I like the fact that the kids have to make them themselves. Surely it's going to be better for them to have to construct these things themselves. And who knows? It could have the opposite effect. I mean, maybe this kid, after spending a little while building something, is a little bit more careful with it because they've built it themselves. Who knows? Maybe it teaches them a thing or two about looking after their toys. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on how you raise your kids.
You might want to just move your microphone slightly because you can. Really? All good.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Can we talk about something that I know about next? Because
Jamster.
I have no idea what any of
Nintendo.
Jamster, the attention seeker. He's not happy with having Space Jam.
Sorry, I was just quiet like this.
Fine. Why don't you tell us a game that you've been playing then, Jamster?
Okay. So. Wreckfest is a game. It's
what?
Like
WRECK.
WRECK and then FEST.
Right, Wreckfest. I've not heard of this.
So Wreckfest is a game that's been on Steam for I think a year and a half. I think, but it's only just had a few more updates that have kind of changed the game quite a lot of the graphics and the gameplay on it. So basically, at its core, it's a racing game, but it's like a rally racing game.
Why am I not finding this?
It's on Steam.
No results. Wreckfest. WRECK space FEST. No results.
Oh, no, it doesn't look like there's a space. No space.
Wreckfest.
Oh, no space. Yeah, then there's no space.
Right. Okay then. Okay, that's fine. I'll let you off.
But yeah. So basically, it's a rally game in which you it's a rally racing game. You just crash and you do races. Basically, they added a whole bunch of different maps. Whereas the last time I played it, which was like 6 months ago, they had like 3 or 4 racetracks and that was it. And a bunch of the ones that were in development. Whereas now they've got ones like figure of eights where you just literally like you're doing a figure of eight and you like keep crashing into each other and stuff. And then and different racing stuff. But yeah, I was playing it with Sam. A few days yesterday, and it's pretty fun. As regards racing games go, the sounds and everything in the game are pretty good. The graphics are on par with what you would kind of expect with an kind of early access game. So I'm enjoying it. It's pretty good.
So is it a game where you can ram each other off the road and stuff as well as race? Yeah.
Like
supercars. So
whereas a normal racing game, you would, if you crash into someone, you normally get disqualified or get reset, or that's it. You just get disqualified basically. But on this one, you can just destroy all the different vehicles that are while you're driving. It's quite like knocking out your opponents is probably the better option than actually instead of trying to win. Because if you can knock your opponent off the track, then you can just win that way.
It sounds like a game I used to play. Oh my god, back in the Amiga days, it was called Supercars, and it was a top-down view because obviously we didn't have great graphics back then. And you could fire front and back missiles out of your car, and yet it was about ramming each other off the road. This looks like a modern day version of that, which looks great. So it looks like you've got destruction, damage there. So you'll see.
So what you're looking
your
at
cars.
in the video. Yeah, what you're looking at in the video where it's all getting crushed.
What are these balls? Can you fire?
Basically. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. So basically, that was a tech demo that was released in 2006. I want to say 2013, but maybe slightly after that.
Yeah.
Whereas that was the only gameplay that we had for
you've got a fan in chat, Jam. Fluffy bunnies.
Yeah, that's my sister. Hi.
Fluffy bunnies. Your sister, my brother.
I know. Yeah.
So
I feel left. I need to phone my brothers and get them to watch. What's going on?
Yeah.
My family don't care about me. So
basically, what you're looking at on the screen there, that's the tech demo that they gave at the beginning.
Right.
Just to show all of the destruction that the game engine was capable of.
Right.
And so for a whole year, that was all we had. So you're driving your one vehicle up into a whole bunch of tracks, and you can still play it on Steam now, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then when they actually released the game, they literally only had 1 or 2 tracks, and that was it. But the last couple updates, I haven't been keeping track of the game for ages. That's why I'm bringing it up, because it's basically a new game now. The interface is all different, the maps are different, the gameplay, as in the physics, is much different. But as far as I'm playing it, it's still pretty fun. As far as racing games goes, you can only go around the track so many times before you get bored. But what do you expect?
Yeah.
Oh, so so it's all like contained tracks then, like
Yeah, it's not like open world or
Wow.
anything like that, like the Dirt series.
You know what?
Sorry?
You know what? That's really interesting you say that. I'll go ahead and finish, but this is a great segue into something that I want to talk about. But go on.
So it's not open worldy at all. It's literally it's like Formula 1 where you have a set racetrack to go round. But the whole point of the maps that they do, they modify all the tracks. So they have the map right in the engine, right, and then they just change the layout of the map. So for example, they may have a track that goes in like I don't know how to do this, like a figure of 8. Yeah, and then they'll keep the figure of 8 there, and then just add like a line. So the map will still be a figure of 8, but they just change it slightly. So when you're playing the maps on a rotation, you'll be playing the same map in some instances, but it changes slightly. So when you're playing it, if you've not played that map, if you don't have that map in memory, you'll want to go straight for the track will just keep going, and then there'll be a wall for no reason. You'll be like, because they have the same map, but they just change the layout of where the track goes, and it's really confusing, and I don't get why. I don't see how difficult it can be to make genuinely different maps all the time. I know that obviously there's only a small studio of people. I think it's just like between 6 and 9 people that have been working on it for the number of years, so it's not a very big studio. And yeah, so I don't see why they can't just make the individual maps. But apart from that, I'd say the gameplay is quite solid. It's repeatable. You can have fun with it. And then there's some game modes where you literally have 24 players on a multiplayer game, and you just smash into each other, and who can survive the longest is the winner. They have a bunch of like garage mode where you can edit your car however you want it, change the engine, the fuel injectors, all a bunch of car stuff, to kind of modify your car slightly. And then depending on if you get like a classic American muscle car versus like a mini, or different cars like that, then it just affects the gameplay in different ways. But yeah,
I don't know. It kind of feels like it's not particularly fair pitting a mini against
an American muscle car. I know. I don't get why they offer you those cars. But basically, when you first start the game, they give you 3 cars. There's an American muscle car that's got like an engine like 4.3 liter in it, and then you've got your little mini that's got like 1.2. And you're like, are we gonna play
like my mini?
You're gonna play like British rally racing and then American rally racing, and yet they have both the vehicles in the same game. Which if you're actually playing against each other, there's no way you can win. So why would you ever choose a mini? It doesn't make sense. It's just a mini fan.
Is there a single player option? Can you play single player, or is it multiplayer only?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But there's no campaign or anything. Well, actually, now that I say that, there is a campaign. It's basically Formula 1 where you have a number of races you just complete, and then if you win first, you compete to the next round, and you just keep going like that, different seasons. But I haven't played it yet, so I can't really comment on how that is.
Cool.
But, yeah.
Well, looks good.
Yeah,
that's good.
What were you saying about the open world Segway thing?
Yeah, well, interestingly enough, okay, so you mentioned you're stuck in a loop and you're on a track. And at first I was thinking, you know what? I would have said that sounded absolutely boring as hell. But I played for 6 hours last night a game that cost me a tenner, and it was on the PlayStation Network, and it wasn't even on sale. That was just its price. So I won't get it on Steam. I'm going to have to get it up on YouTube. And it's called Croixleur Sigma. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. But if you look on the stream, you'll see how it's spelled. Now, this is, I'm not even kidding you, the best hack and slash experience I have ever had. I could not stop playing it for 6 hours last night. I went and unlocked all of the story mode stuff, and it is the most repetitive thing you could ever imagine, as any hack and slash is. But it doesn't even try to really deliver on a story. It doesn't have a world that you explore. It is literally a ring, a big circular dungeon, and enemies just spawn. It sounds terrible, I know. Trust me, I know. But it's not. It's absolutely brilliant. It's the most fun I've had for what it actually is, because it delivers on those mechanics so well.
Yeah.
That you just can't help but have fun. So you've got these like crazy kind of anime girls for a start. They're all very sort of cutesy.
You like your anime girls,
already?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
We're already in my wheelhouse.
These girls in the videos.
Yeah, we're already in my wheelhouse. You've got the cutesy anime girls, and they're badass, and they've got, you know, all these different weapon types. There's not a whole difference between them. They've got a few special moves, which is pretty good. It's all about timing. It's about, you know, strategy. But the best thing is you skate around. If you imagine, this isn't really doing the game justice, this gameplay, but if you imagine being on an ice rink, I actually said while I was streaming it last night that if they'd have done the theme of them being ice skaters, and that this was an ice rink, and they had demons that they do offend from, that would have been perfect, because it fits in with the mechanics so well. You feel like an ice skater. You are so swift and fast and smooth, and you swoop here and you swoop there, and then you bam, and then you block, and it's just like, oh my god, it feels so good to play this game that you're just like, oh my god, I'm purely enjoying this game. It's one of those games that's intrinsically fun to play for its own, you know, sake. You don't need any extra fluff to sort of keep.
So what do? You just keep on. Every time you defeat a wave, a new wave comes in, and you just keep on going until you die.
Yeah, you get like I think it's like 40 minutes to do an entire story campaign, and it's just you'll get a wave of enemies.
If you want to stall it a story,
then you get a little bit of story. But I say story because it's the worst story ever. But you're not playing it for the story.
All anime games that have the worst story, but they're fun to play.
Yeah, no, this one really is fun to play, and it doesn't. What I love about it as well is that it doesn't try to be something that it's not. It doesn't try to pad itself out. God bless, right? Tokyo Xanadu. I loved playing that game, and I paid a lot of money for that game. I paid 4 times as much money as I paid for this one. But that game tries to be Persona. It tries to be a narrative experience. It tries to be...
Yeah, they're copying
so much more with mini games. Yeah, it tries to be things that it can never really be. This game just takes the one basic principle and says, right, we're going to make this a fun hack and slash. And because everything's in a ring, you're not walking down endless corridors, like bored, waiting for your next like wave of enemies. Because that's the worst thing about hack and slash. Yeah, exactly. The worst thing about a hack and slash is if you're walking down the corridors and you don't see anything for ages. I'll give you an example. Dragonsphere. I thought I'd love Dragonsphere, which is another hack and slash, because the art style is beautiful.
Dragonsphere?
Drakensgard. Yeah, that is from the developers of Nier Automata, back before Nier Automata. And it's actually linked to the Nier Automata story, which is the whole reason I bought it. So I wanted it for some sort of backstory on Nier Automata.
I see what you mean, yeah.
Art style, it's beautiful, and the world building's pretty interesting, and it's supposed to have a really good story and lots of character depth. But as a hack and slash, it just doesn't feel that engaging to play, and you spend most of your time like traipsing up and down these corridors looking for your next wave of enemies. A bit like, can I say, Final Fantasy 15, the second half of Final Fantasy 15, which is bullshit. This takes all of that and says, no, I'm going to give you one ring. All your enemies are going to spawn here, and you're going to skate in and out of them, and you're just going to have a blast. And it is. It's an absolute blast. I loved every minute of it for 6 hours, and I still want to go back and play more.
Played it for 6 hours?
Yeah, I still want to go back and play more.
Was it?
What?
You didn't play it for solid 6 hours?
Yeah, I played it for a solid 6 hours. And I still want to go back and play more. Yeah, 6 hours, that does not get dull. I'm telling you, that's a really good game. It really is. Oh my god, it's so good.
Did you play Cookie Cutters yet?
There's four different characters as well. So each character is very different as well. They have their own speeds, their own moves, their own sort of ways of dealing with it. Oh, honestly, so good.
Did you play Cookie Clicker?
I've not played Cookie Clicker.
You have to play it. That's your homework for next week.
Don't get him into Cookie Clicker.
I'm not playing Cookie Clicker.
I regret getting into Cookie Clicker.
So that's Croixleur
We want to
Sigma.
get a well-rounded experience,
It's
the best thing about Cookie Clicker is this there's this bizarre, Lovecraftian lore going on in the background, which you only really get, information about in, these little news flashes. But other than that, don't get into Cookie Clicker because all of that you can just read through in about 5 minutes anyway.
Okay.
It's Skittle. For your sake, listen to me. Do not get into Cookie Clicker.
Trust me,
I'm your friend.
I do not want to get into any cookie game. I mean, I played that game there on a whim, and I honestly did not expect to like it as much as I did. I mean, it was a tenner, and I thought, okay, it looks like a lot of fun, but I didn't expect it to actually be that much fun. And to be fair, even after watching the reviews, I thought I was going to get a world to explore. I thought that this was one of the modes, like one of the time attack modes or something that I was seeing, because there was a clock at the top, and it was a circle. And I thought, okay, this is just a time attack mode. This isn't the main story, obviously, because it doesn't look like a story. And when I started playing the story, and I thought, hang on a minute, I'm just stuck in a ring, and I've got that clock. I thought, I think this really is all that the game is. But I'm playing it, and I'm like, but it's just so much fun. It's just so much fun, and I cannot stop playing, and I cannot put that controller down. And the more I'm getting used to controlling the characters and getting so much fun out of oh man. Just play it. Just play it. Just do it now.
Got it. I'll put it on my homework for next week.
Do it.
I will say, listening to you talk about it, I'm reminded of you talking about the elusive.
It's on PC as well, so you've got no excuse. Apparently, they added a new character and some new little story elements and maybe a few new weapons for the PS4 remaster, and it's also on Vita. It's also crossplay, so if you buy it for a tenner, you get it on PS4 and Vita for the same £110. I mean, why? Just don't even watch the stream. Just piss off. Go to your PlayStation Store. Buy this game right now and play it. Seriously, why are you wasting time watching me? That's how good this game is.
Don't say that.
I know. I'm sorry.
Don't
do that. Okay, piss off after you've watched the stream and then go play it. No, seriously, that's how good this game is.
Another game I've been playing.
Yeah.
I installed it. Oh my word! It's been out since the 22nd of February. I completely forgot about it until now. Until yesterday.
What is it?
It's called Age of Empires Definitive Edition.
Oh my god.
I know you hate Age of Empires, but I'm going to go over it because Age of Empires was the game that actually made strategy open world games a thing in 1997 when it came out.
1997.
Shut up. But yeah, so basically it's the exact same game that came out a long time ago, Age of Empires. It's classic Age of Empires where you build your little town up with your villagers and you chop wood and you raid all your enemies and you conquer the world. But they've made a new definitive edition which is upgrading all of the graphics and bringing the game into the 21st century, thankfully. So they kept the exact same, all of the gameplay and the AI and everything's exactly the same. So it's just as terrible as it was when it came out, but it's pretty fun.
So
they've increased the graphics and everything a lot more, so it looks up to date. But when you compare it to Age of Empires 2, which is currently out at the moment, and it's been out for years, it's definitely plays true to the original game that started the whole Age of Empires franchise, and a lot of the civilization games and stuff like that. I think that was originally there. I come with the ideas for those games as well. So but yeah, I played it. I've only played about a couple of hours of it so far, playing through the tutorials, but so far it's matching exactly what it's got. The exact same music. They've just changed it very slightly so that it sounds new, but you can still hear the music that you were listening to in the game. And it's I don't know how you reminiscing, I guess maybe the word, where you look back on a previous time and you remember how amazing it was. But yeah, I remember playing it on Windows XP, and I like how they've basically kept the same style of the game, as they were previously, but just beefed it up a lot as far as graphics and made it playable for now. So I think that it's only about $14.99 on the Windows Store, and that's the only place you can get it. You can't get it anywhere else. You can't get it on Steam or Uplay or anything. I think everybody who played the previous game will be picking it up, and I think everybody's people should enjoy it.
So it's not a remake, it's a remaster, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a remastered version.
Right.
But they added 2 features. That's it. From the original game, they added 2 features. They added the feature in which you can click your villagers that aren't doing anything, which is in Age of Empires 2, which everybody liked. That wasn't in the original game, because before you just had to look around to your villagers that weren't doing anything. And then the second one was the I think some of the boat AI was really, really, really buggy. So they just updated it very slightly in the boat AI. But apart from that, all of the main AI for the game, all of the units and everything's exactly the same. It just looks so much better. When you look at images from before, when it was in 1997, to what it looks like now, it's exactly the same, but the graphics just look so much better, and that's how it plays. And the amount that I played so far, I'm really enjoying it. It's nice to get back into it. A game that actually runs on Windows 10.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
I will not be buying that.
No.
I will say, like,
the original game. But if you never played the original game, then you're not going to pick it up. There's no point. But yeah, it doesn't really have anything groundbreaking that's gonna make you say, oh, I have to buy this game if I've never played an Age of Empires game before. Right. But if you previously played the original and then you went to Age of Empires 2 and you've been playing that ever since, this is definitely a game to get into now that it's out.
Okay.
For me, Age of Empires was always just that game my dad was into. It was always a dad game for me. Well, I think maybe that's why I could never get into either that or games like that. The closest I ever got into was Civilization.
Jamster made me buy it so we could all play it together around his, and wow, I had like an afternoon. I had an afternoon to sit and play through the tutorial, learn how to play the game, and then I was up against guys who played this game like for donkey's years with their eyes closed. I was like, yeah. I just feel like
Sam,
I feel like the baby
learned the game a few days before you did, so you weren't exactly.
But Sam's
that behind.
probably really good at RTS games, and I'm not. I'm terrible. This was my first RTS game, and I was thrown in the deep end. And yeah, okay.
If you played more, you probably enjoy it.
Huh?
Yeah.
What was that, Hells? That was nice. Can I have that again?
No,
you were singing. It was majestic. I was like, what was that?
Sure, use that there.
You said you were thrown into the deep end, so I just sang a bar of
Speaking
Adele.
Speaking of the deep,
there you go.
Do you know what I've been playing?
Oh, dun dun dun.
I know what you've been playing.
You know what I'm segueing into.
I know what you're segueing into.
Subnautica.
I approve.
Yeah. Well, yeah, really.
Well,
you're going to be disappointed in what I've got to say about this then.
Oh.
Subnautica is a game that's received a lot of attention. It is a survival game set in the deep sea, which is interesting in itself, and it's very beautiful. Yeah. There's a lot of very nice graphics and everything else.
Is it cartoony versus like actually looking?
It's I guess it's more cartoony than anything else. Why can't I get a video without some bloke's face on it? Like, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll leave this guy on.
You can skip the ad, yeah.
That's fine. So this guy's about to play it. So you'll see it's very pretty. It is very pretty. And it's not what you would expect in terms of the one of the things that drew me to it was I heard that it's got a lot of jump scares in it. I heard that it's very, very spooky, and it's very it's very jump scary. Yeah, and I experienced some of this. No, I experienced some of this. There are things in that ocean that will hunt you. There are things that will sneak up on you and attack you, and there's spooky noises, and it's very much like claustrophobic. I know you're out it's the weirdest thing in the world because you're in the big wide ocean, but there's this claustrophobic, oh my God, this, you know what I mean? I can't escape.
Yeah.
If this thing comes for me, I got no chance. I can't fly off. I can't run away. I can't do anything. I'm screwed. So it had that aspect to it, which is what I really liked. The problem is I need more of that. The problem I have with it is that I think it's a general problem I have with survival games. So it is a survival game. So it basically, you start off where you're in this escape pod and you can see that you're being flung through the air and there's a fire in front of you and you land splash in the middle of the ocean. The next thing, you can see the ship there on the stream. You realise that the ship thing's being blown up. You're the only survivor. Everyone else is dead. You're in the escape pod, and you've got to figure out how to survive. You're also on an alien world. So these things that you witness in the ocean, it's not Earth. It's an unknown planet. It's going to take apparently 999,999 hours for the Federal Galactic Rescue people to come and get to you. So basically, you're screwed. You're on your own. It's like, here you go, survive. There you go. So you've got this little machine there that you can probably see on stream right now that makes things. So you collect certain resources. So to make bleach, you've got to collect some coral fiber, and then you've got to collect some salt from the bottom of the ocean, and then you can make bleach, and then you can cleanse the water from the sea and then drink it as drinking water, for example. You can hunt things and get things for food. You get some little biscuits to start you off, and you've got to eat. So you've got to constantly eat. You've got to constantly drink. You've got to, if you get infected or anything like that, you've got to tend to that. So yeah, think sort of, you know, your typical survival game, except you're in the middle of the bloody ocean. You're in the middle of nowhere. And there's no place to run, no place to hide.
You can't even get out of it if you want to. You're just stuck.
No, you can't. You really can't. Now, the problem I had with this game is I spent the majority of my time lost and confused. I knew there was an island to the east of me, only because somebody kindly told me in chat when I first started playing it, and I managed to find it on my first playthrough. Then I'd forgotten like an idiot. I forgot to save my save game the second time around, and I tried to find that island 10 times on my second playthrough and couldn't find it. I managed to make, all in all, I played the thing for about 3 or 4 hours, and all I really managed to do was make an air tank that let me breathe a little bit longer underwater. I managed to create like a floating storage tank that I could have floating above me. You know what I mean? Like a couple of little things that didn't really make that much of a big difference. I still couldn't find the island again. I never saw anything that interesting. Nothing really. It was just a whole load of empty dead time that I was just like, this is making the worst stream in the world. And even as a player, I'm just bored now. I'm just like, there's too much downtime in this game. Again, it goes back to what I was saying before. Big open world with nothing in it, I'm not interested. But, you know, if you cram me in a little cube and there's a million things in it to do, I'll take that over a big empty
So
open
what was the
world
part where you got scared then?
There's things in the ocean. There was a jump scare. I remember I was swimming along and then I could just hear, it's really clever the way they do it. You can just hear this like, I don't know, some little thing in the background, and you're like, oh, it's miles away.
Like a whale noise?
Yeah, like some animal. And then I turn around and all I see is this big splash in front of me. This thing's like, right dead loud. And I was like, ah! The next thing I know, this thing like just went off. Didn't even see it. It was that quick. I didn't see it. I just saw like a mass like just disappear, and this thing was really loud when everything else was quiet, and I was like, what the hell was that? And I literally bricked it. And that was during the daytime. People have reported that this game absolutely terrifies you at night, and it's like there's just things that hunt you and noises and all kinds of stuff. And what I experienced was during the day, and I was like, whoa. But that was the only exciting thing that happened in the whole game. The rest of it was just like, oh my god, where's this island? Oh my god, where is this material that I have to gather? And I'm just lost and confused and bored mainly.
That is interesting. Mainly because I actually think the difference between how I found it and how you found it comes into, I mean, yes, it comes from the fact that I do like open world games and you don't. I think the main difference comes from the fact that I played it as they were, adding new mechanics and adding new stuff. And so, like, every time I went onto it, I had like a list of, oh, they've added this and this and this, so this is what I want to check out. And step by step, I was kind of learning the world. So actually, I think that might attribute to why I enjoy it so much more than you enjoyed it, because I almost had like, a tutorial in the just going through the early access version of it.
Yeah.
And it is like Minecraft in the sense that there is no tutorial. There is no tutorial. You have no idea what you're doing.
It's a sandbox that you just dumped in the middle of, and it's like, right, have fun. And it's like, if I have to make my own fun, like, you know what I mean? If I'm 10 years old, yeah, I can do that. I'll be a pirate out in the ocean, and I'll make up my own fun, and my imagination will work for me. But I'm an old grumpy man now. We had this discussion last week. I need structure and rules and narrative and guidance. You know what I mean? You can't just leave me in the middle of the ocean with nothing to do. I'm an old man. I need structure and rules. So yeah, I'm a grumpy old man.
That is actually genuinely why I think you would enjoy The Forest.
The Forest. Okay? I was looking at that the other day, actually. Yeah, it's in my library, thanks to you.
Yeah, The Forest is a survival horror as well, right? And it's the same sort of thing. You crash on this like forested island. You're a plane. You're like one of the only survivors aside from your little kid who has been kidnapped.
Where's my mouse?
Some weird, creepy alien things.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They've just been adopted by native mutants. They've just taken them off. But that is the clear difference in that, like, yes, you can just head off and make yourself a base and everything, and you do actually have a tutorial in the form of,
I've seen this. I've seen someone play this before. I didn't know that this was the game you meant. I've definitely seen someone play this before, but I think I watched them play it while it was still in development.
Yeah, it's been in development for a while.
Yeah.
That is an actual goal, though. That's the main difference. Like, your ultimate goal is find your son. Find your
They actually implemented that finally, because before, in all the other versions, you were just playing, like you say, it was kind of a sandboxy thing. And I remember you could go into caves. I remember when that was a new thing. And you could go into caves and find these weird things with, like, 8 legs, and they were, like, dangling their weird-looking tentacle things all over the place. It was really creepy. Whatever those things are.
I will say, I had no idea that the cannibal natives we were dealing with weren't normal people. Because it turns out
wait, are we spoiling? Whoa, are we spoiling here?
This isn't a spoiler because they make it very obvious now in the game. Like, when you actually see them in the game now, it's very obvious that they're not human.
Well, I didn't know there was cannibals and things. You just spoiled it.
Cannibals. Basically, you can make...
That is the whole premise of it.
You can make... No, you have to... Because I did something for this. Right, you have to let me know if you have a spoiler. Because if you bear with me, I made something for this. Spoiler alert.
Give me 2 moments quickly, actually, because my laptop's running low on battery.
Okay, well, that's fine. I need to create the... I've got a spoiler alert in my Dropbox that I haven't actually imported to OBS yet. There
if you can see on the video, you basically just chop up the dead bodies of mutant things. Yeah. And then you can then create things with those dead bodies. So you can create like a weird...
Dead bodies? What the hell kind of game is this?
And heads on it, and it's really, really creepy. And then basically the more heads and stuff you have, the... What do you call it? The less likely the mutants are to then come to you because you're more menacing and you've killed their friends and all this kind of thing. But basically, when you kill one of the mutant things, you basically just get a sword and go and hack the head off and stuff, and it's just like
anybody who doesn't want this game spoiling, just mute the video until you see until Gollum. This is total spoiler stuff. What are you talking about? You just explained what happens and narrative.
Oh, you try and find your son, I guess. I don't even know if you end up finding him. But
I know there's cannibals. I know you've got to find your son. I know someone gets their head hacked off.
Yeah, but I
don't need to play this game anymore now.
Play like 2 seconds of the game and you know that.
I don't even need to play this game.
Right, so where's the spoiler thing you were talking about?
It's on the screen.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't scrolling up. Oh my word, okay.
That was interesting. Okay, so we can take the spoiler alert off now. I think we've.
You could do spoiler alert and then have the cast spoiler.
Yeah, I was looking at that, but then I thought, no, it's too lame. But trust you to come up with it.
Yeah, it's a bit cheesy, isn't it?
It is a bit. Right. Okay. Where do we go from here then? Whose turn is it? Anybody else been playing anything?
Oh, I did have. Oh. Actually, this is a good follow-on from The Forest because we're talking about another, survival horror sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So so yesterday, after playing some Pokken Tournament, I was thinking, what's coming out on the Switch? Let's see what's coming out on the Switch. What else I can buy on the Switch? Because at the moment I've got like 5 games and a couple more that will be arriving with me shortly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was looking through the Switch store, and I found out, to my amazement, Outlast 2 is coming out on the Switch.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Right, you've kind of hijacked the show here, though. We're not doing upcoming releases right now. We're doing current games that we've been playing.
Yeah, I know, but
Oh, well, we moved on. It's fine.
We haven't moved on.
Outlast 2 is still a current game.
Has everybody talked about? No. What I mean is, though, at the moment we're
Yeah.
talking about what we've been playing this week. We haven't finished that yet. Or have we? Because I feel like there's something else that I'm missing. Hang on, I've got notes. Yeah, no, yes, there is. There's one more game I need to talk about that I've been playing. Anyone else got any? What on earth is going on?
The continuing saga of my descent into Sakura Clicker Hell.
Right, I lost you guys there. I'm having internet problems, apparently.
Yeah, I can see the stream's just like...
Yeah, I'm dropping
died.
frames.
We're offline.
I'm dropping frames.
I'll put something in the chat.
Update the chat! Update the chat!
Why am I dropping so many frames? Could not access
I
the
felt technical
specified channel
difficulties.
or stream key. Please double check your stream key.
How do you spell Monterey?
Oh my
Like that
god.
as well. Yeah, it is can't spell.
What are you trying to... monotonically?
What are you trying to...
What does that mean?
Right, why am I still showing as red when I'm not even trying to stream at the moment? Let me try that. Right, we're yellow. We should be okay now.
That's hilarious, monotonically.
So...
You're not back, you're still offline.
So, you've been playing some more... Yeah, no, just give it time to refresh. You still been playing some Sakura Clicker?
Yeah.
What about you, Jam?
I've spent money on it.
What? You said you wouldn't do that.
I know. I said I wouldn't.
You said you wouldn't
like a little
do
amount
that.
or like a big amount? Like a little amount?
I spent like £3 on it.
Oh, that's allowed.
For what, an outfit? Was it costumes?
Yeah, so I bought the hair package, which lets you change your character's hairstyle.
Okay.
And I bought... I'm not proud of this. Out of all the outfits I could have bought, I bought the wedding dress.
Really?
Why?
Why?
I don't know, okay?
Why?
You did it by accident or something, or?
Not the
No,
bikini.
I didn't.
Not the obvious choice, the bikini or the swimsuit. You went with the wedding dress.
I
Why
went with
would
the
you?
wedding dress.
You're getting soft in your old age.
I'm 23.
You guys, it's
Ouch.
hilarious.
So,
How much was the wedding dress on its own? I assume it was separate.
Let's have a little
well, you
look.
spent £3 all in all, so it's not that bad.
When
I buy-
this is a slippery slope.
When I buy outfits for Dead or Alive 5, I could actually buy real clothes for the same amount that I spend money on that. You don't even want to know. Yeah, it's literally like £3.50 for one costume for one girl, unless they're having a sale. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure if you go on eBay, you can buy real clothes for that amount. So yeah, pretty crazy.
£1.59 the wedding dress was.
Yeah,
And that's like the most,
Right, I have
most
to-
expensive.
So what can I type into
Jamster,
Google?
you've-
to get
you've-
whatever you just.
Jamster, you've shrunk into some kind of hobbit. I can like
Sorry.
barely see you. Why have
I'm
you...
trying
Oh my
to.
god, what's happened to you?
Yeah.
Me? Better?
Yeah, why are you suddenly... No, you're just at the bottom. You
Yeah,
shrunk.
why are you so low down? Tilt your
Better?
camera down again.
What, you mean like this? Are you HellsFiction?
It depends where you sat, doesn't it? You're just being lazy, you're sitting back.
Yeah, now you're better.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Sorry, I tried to
when
adjust it and then I made
you
it
get
worse.
so much smaller when you lean back.
Yeah, I prefer you further
Yeah,
back.
but so all of you guys are really small as well. Like,
Yeah, this is
Skittles
true.
is,
This is
like,
true.
really far back, and
Excuse
then
me?
you're.
I'm just a laid back kind
You're
of
really
guy.
far back.
What can I say?
I'm not far back.
And then, like, I could be like this and be like, yeah,
that's
you know,
way
yeah,
too close. Way too
beautiful.
close.
We don't want to see
Nah,
every
that's fine.
single.
I don't want to see the insects on your eyelashes. Thank you very much. The microbes.
There you are. Sorry.
Okay, so I've got one more game to talk about. Is everybody cool with me to jump right in?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Shoot.
I actually played this game last week and I forgot about it, but then I replayed it this week because
Sorry.
I streamed it this time. And this is a game called The Council. And what it is if you think Telltale or Life is Strange. So we're talking narrative adventure, choices matter, that kind of situation.
Yeah.
Except this game promises quite a lot. This game promises that your choices really do matter and not, we pretend that they matter like Telltale games. So you've got, basically you're part of a secret society. You are the son. This is you here, of a prestigious sort of secret society. And your mother goes missing. And your job is to find clues and various things.
HellsFiction, your
Hells,
microphone.
yeah, you might want to de-breath.
Sorry.
Yeah, and
De-blowify your microphone.
yeah, yeah. You gotta try and solve the mystery of what happened to your mother. She seems to have gone missing. She was invited to a manor by this sort of very highly political figure who we haven't met yet, by the way. Well, I don't want to spoil things, so I won't say too much about that. But yeah, George Washington is there, and Napoleon Bonaparte, and it's it's all very highly. It's also set in like the what is it? The I don't know, 19 whenever those guys were around. What was it? 1920s? I want to say.
1976.
That's probably earlier than that. If you look on this,
Probably like 1900.
if you look on the Steam's description, it'll tell you
1901.
You know what? That's what I should bring up. Actually, I should just put it on here.
It's before you were born.
It is, yeah, a little bit before I was born, only a few years. Yeah, there you go, 1793.
A little bit before you were born.
Yeah, a little bit before I was born, a few years.
Not like before your great grandfather was born.
No. I'm a lot older than I appear. So yeah, you've got some famous people in there, and it's a bit of a detective. So you probably like this HellsFiction if you like Detective Pikachu. This is like what can I say? It's like a Telltale.
Detective Pikachu, you may like this.
Yeah, it's like a Sherlock Holmes meets Telltale Games meets Life is Strange, but they actually boast that your choices matter. You also get like a skill tree, so you've got some RPG mechanics in there, so you can level up like certain skills, such as subterfuge, where you can actually sneak around and hide things from people. Lock picking, manipulation is a skill you can unlock, and you could get extra options in dialogue where you can manipulate people into doing what you want. Just various examples. Linguistics is one where you'll get foreign text, and you can, if you've leveled up that, you'll be able to translate it, and then you'll uncover the new clue. So I imagine there's a lot of replayability in this game. Yeah.
Yeah, because every time you play, if you just adjust the settings slightly, you don't know if you're going to get an entirely different story or not.
Well, I did.
You know if the story like diverts like completely, like if you change one thing at the beginning and it changes off completely, or does it keep like you can have like 3 different options, but ultimately they do the same thing?
Yeah, well, that's what Telltale have done. Telltale have lied to us and made out like all our choices matter, and you get told Clementine will remember that, and all it really does is change a dialogue like way down the line, and everything else is still the same. This game is not that, and they boast that it's not that. So, for example, the very first decision I get to make is, do I attack a man who's about to attack me and my mother, or do I leave it to my mother who's telling me to leave it to her? If I choose to leave it to her, then she sort of stabs the guy and saves the day. And if I, actually,
spoiler.
Okay,
Spoiler.
if I decide to attack him, then I get my nose cut, and for the rest of the game, I have a big scar across my nose, for example. So I know that's only cosmetic. I know that's only cosmetic, but that made a difference in, you know, the entire rest of the game, depending on what decision you make at that very key moment. And I went and played this on my personal account, which is, you know, the one I play on the sofa when I'm not streaming. And then I went and played this on my streamer account when I streamed it. And I made slightly different choices, not too different, but slightly different. And I did get two completely different outcomes. So yeah, I can vouch for that. There is definitely
you would have to say what happens at the end.
No, I'm not gonna spoil it that much. In fact, I'm gonna take the spoiler alert off. I will say that your choices really do matter in this one, unlike Telltale. So it'll be interesting to see how much replayability is here. Even if it's not,
like I say, if that's the case, if it is really different, then obviously you're going to want to play the whole thing again. Because like I say, a lot of games you play it once and then sometimes you wouldn't go back to it for another week, but you might want to play the entire thing again because if it's going to be completely different, then you're going to get a whole new another game essentially, aren't you? So
easily, yeah. Well, so for this game, what was I going to say? Yeah, 3 hours for the first episode. It's 5 episodes long. I think they want like 25 quid for 5 episodes, which is pretty good. That's what, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 hours. That's more than fair enough. Or you can buy the episodes individually. So same kind of price as Telltale for about £5.
Why would you buy them individually?
Well, that's what I did. Because you don't always want to spend 25 quid up front, especially with the first episode. I wasn't sure whether I'd like this or not, so I thought, well, I won't cough up 25 quid yet.
They don't charge you more if you buy them individually, do they? They're not mean like that.
It works out a little bit more expensive, but when you look at that bundle, when you buy the season pass, you don't actually save that much. You might save about £1.50.
Can you scroll down it on Steam?
Yeah,
so we can see that.
If I can find my mouse pointer.
Yeah, the reviews are pretty good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. The 2 times I played it, I really enjoyed it. So
cool.
Yeah, I bought it obviously on PlayStation.
It's got a bit of a I mean, in terms of aesthetic alone, just looking at it, it's got a bit of a Dishonored feel to it.
Yeah. I thought about that when I saw it.
It's like nothing like Dishonored though in terms of gameplay.
Well, yeah, it's not open world.
I know what you're saying. So art style wise, I can see where you're going with that, and even theme wise, yeah, I would agree. But yeah. It plays nothing like
the actual gameplay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I played that and I very much enjoyed it, and I would very much recommend it. I have heard though, downside is if you do play it on PC, apparently if you're planning on playing with keyboard and mouse, it's incredibly frustrating because moving the character is very buggy, and to turn around completely, apparently it's virtually impossible with the keyboard and the mouse, but as soon as you plug a controller in, it's fine. So if you're planning on playing with keyboard and mouse, you might want to wait until they patch it.
But that's like how the only way I play.
Well, then you're crazy because controllers are the way.
We'll just plug in a controller and controller.
Will Switch controllers work? I doubt they will.
I'm back and I'm gone. Rude sleeps.
It's fun.
Subnautica has a huge story as well, he says. I mean, it may well be, but if it takes me 12 hours to start to uncover that story, then it's going to be hard to keep my attention that long. So,
should we move on to the next segment?
Yeah.
Segment.
Well, shall we do Space Jam? Because I could use a little break in the
do you want to try
bathroom.
Do you want to change? Just try again to see if you can change the name on the stream. Just try one more time.
What? Why? I doubt it's gonna work.
Well, you give it a shot. Okay, Space Jam. You have to. Where's my space helmet?
Space Jam.
I've just done it, you impatient.
Space Jam. It's the Space Jam team. Space Jam. Hold on.
That's the best intro ever.
Hold on.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. We got a proper intro.
Space Jam. Space Jam. No.
What the hell am I hearing? What was that? What was that?
That's the best. That was a playing with a guitar. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was me.
I'm
just,
missing
like,
the shot. I'm missing my
rocking on
own
acoustic for
shot.
a bit.
I'm missing my own shot. Can you do that again? Because he told me to change the stream, and I couldn't see anything. All I could hear is ding, ding, ding,
Okay,
ding,
here we
space
go,
jump,
right.
space jump,
Space
space
Jam.
jump. I was like, what the
Okay.
hell?
Space Jam theme.
Wow.
Space Jam, Space Jam, Space Jam.
I love it. That's the best.
And for those of you who are interested, that is available on iTunes right now.
Yeah.
On the iTunes store.
It's a 49p download, guys.
It
Come on,
really
go
is.
Click on that.
Go and buy
Go
it
on.
right now.
Make us
Okay,
rich.
I'm gonna go pee real quick. You kill him dead, Jamster. Kill him dead.
Oh, you're gone. Okay, so we have only two major pieces of news this week that I thought was pretty cool. The Curiosity rover, the thing that's been roaming around Mars for a number of years, has reached a major milestone at 2,000 sols. So a sol is 24 hours and 39 minutes. So it's basically the same time as a day on Earth.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
reached-
So it's much less ominous than it sounds.
Yeah, so it's basically it's reached its 2,000th day on the surface. So it's been I don't know how many years that is. I don't want to calculate it, but yeah, and it's basically been through so many different science experiments. It's taken like I think it's like 17,000 photos, and they've all been transmitted, totaling something like 60 terabytes of data has come back already, or something like that. It's insane, but that's quite a cool milestone because then the same time as when the Curiosity rover actually arrived, it was around the 2,000 mark for the previous rover. So now we're 1 year away from the 2020 rover from arriving, which we should be around 2,400 sols when the 2020 rover arrives. But yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. It's been 2,000 days and it's still operational. Like, it was only supposed to last 2 years, and now it's lasted like 7 or 8. So it's doing pretty well for a thing that's like 1 million miles away, or however, a couple million probably. Yeah, something like that.
It's well out of its prime, but it's still hanging in there.
Yeah, I think it's got it's one of its wheels is like all punctured and stuff when you look at some photos, but it looks quite interesting. Yeah, I think that's quite interesting. So the let me see. Oh, sorry. So it's driven 11.8 miles so far. So in how many? I want to work out. Let me bring up a calculator. I want to work out how many days that is. 2,000 days divided by 256. Wait, 256. Wait, 365.
Is Jam doing
So
maths?
5.5 years.
Is Jam doing maths?
Google's back.
Learn maths with Jamster.
Yeah, so it's been 5.5 years, and it's driven 11.8 miles. So that's a really, really, really slow speed at like less than a mile an hour. Pretty bad. Okay, so the main thing for this week, which is pretty cool, is China's my pronunciation, Taichung 1. Yeah, you go. Taichung 1 spacecraft. Basically, it got launched in 2011, and it was supposed to be China's old version of the International Space Station. So it was supposed to launch with 3 parts. The main part, which is launched in 2011, 29th of September.
One part was tight, one was ja, one was what?
I'm gonna ignore you there.
Okay.
Okay, so the first part was supposed
Why
to be the main docking area, and then the second part was due to join it a couple years later, which it did. And then there was supposed to be a separate part with like a bunch of radiation stuff, like more testing stuff. Basically, what happened was 2 years ago, we lost communication. It took them 6 months for the Chinese to tell us that they actually finally lost communication with their space station. But something.
Why wouldn't they share that with us? That was a cover-up.
Basically, the Chinese don't like to tell what's going on in the space station. It's a very secretive organization.
Ground control to me.
Okay, shut up. Okay, excuse me, this is my segment.
Sorry. We're listening.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Right, the next part that you're gonna be excited. The reason I'm talking about this spacecraft is actually interesting, is because they lost communication with it. There is no hope in saving it. It's completely run out of power. There's no way of controlling it, and it's been slowly getting lower and lower and lower and lower and lower.
Like you in the stream, you slowly get lower and lower and lower and lower.
Basically, right. Every single day for the last 2 years, it's been degrading its orbit with no way of going it back up.
Okay.
And let me see, on the
There must be a way.
Next week on Thursday will be the re-entry date. So basically, it's going to be coming in through the atmosphere and it's going to be burning up. Now,
I actually do remember hearing about this.
The problem is this rocket is completely out of control and weighs over 11 tons, and it's about 11 meters by 2 meters wide lump of metal. And it will be getting through.
And with a bit of luck, it will land on your head.
It will be coming through the atmosphere. There is no way that it's just going to burn up. Well, at least the models are showing. And it's scheduled to hit somewhere in the European region, anywhere from between 43 north and 43 south along. I don't know what that means, but between that range on the equator. And it's going to hit somewhere between Spain, France, Portugal, or Greece. It will hit one of those countries, and it will hit the ground. So somebody is going to wake up one morning with no house. And there's nothing they can do about it. They can't shoot it down. They can't stop it. They can't slow it down. They can't do anything. It's going to be coming through the atmosphere. If hopefully nobody dies. But
okay.
It's going to be interesting. There's going to be a lot of coverage on it, hopefully, when it comes through. But it should be coming down on Thursday, if I'm correct.
Right.
So
what is it? A space station?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm actually going to Google this now because you have actually done very good.
There you go. It's quite interesting, isn't it?
That's quite interesting. If you're telling the truth.
Rocket.
So space station comes down to Earth. And he's making
I played the wrong chord.
Chinese space station crashed to Earth. Everything you need to know. This is one of those. So
the 31st of March. When is that?
This is one of those conspiracy websites, isn't it?
Saturday. Sorry, not Thursday. Saturday.
Yeah, so, look, and the article underneath says Bigfoot gets married.
Oh, it's
great. That's really interesting. We're kind of diverting here, but anyway.
You need very, very quickly now. You need to send me that article because my best friend will love that.
Yeah,
she's huge on cryptids.
It's if you go to space.com, it's on there.
Okay, they snapped up space.com.
Yeah. I literally just Googled. Hang on. What did I Google again? Space station comes down to Earth.
China's falling space station.
And you get space.com. Chinese space stations crash to Earth. Everything you need to know.
It's bad. It's
sorry,
dangerous.
Tiangong!
You kind of like, you ruin my segments, but whatever.
We're not ruining anything. We're showing an interest.
Not a case of.
We're showing a healthy interest.
Excuse me, I'm talking up here. Can you just up there? Keep chill for a second. Thank you. Right.
Sorry.
It's not just something it's like some weird freaky thing that's going to happen. Like they say every year an asteroid's going to blow us all up or anything. It's a massive ass piece of metal that's going to be hurtling through the atmosphere, and somebody is going to hit somewhere.
It's also on the Guardian.
Broadcast with the debris or whatever's going to happen. But when you have an 11-ton piece of metal flying through the atmosphere, and you think about it, over the years it's been slowing down, so it's not coming in at orbital velocities because it will be coming in at a much slower speed, meaning it will get through the atmosphere for definite.
Cool.
And the models have been saying that at least a 1-ton piece of metal will be getting through the atmosphere. So somebody's going to wake up who lives in Spain, France, Portugal, or Greece. And they're going to have no house, or it's going to be in their back garden. They're going to, loads of people going to go see the house.
So basically, what we'll do to celebrate a massive ton of metal going down, we'll get some small bits of metal and drink.
Basically, yeah. So, the last thing I wanted to mention about the space news.
Yes.
Is...
we're not done with this yet.
Yeah, we're nearly finished. Shut up. Okay, the last segment of my space news is will rocket launchers coming up, because I want to, okay? Leave me a break. There's 2 that are launching on the 29th of March. There's a SpaceX one.
Have all our viewers gone, by the way? Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
There's one on the 29th. There's 2 on the 29th. A SpaceX rocket and an Indian rocket launching a satellite for cruise liners and stuff like that. And then the Iridium satellite is launching a military satellite for communication. That's on the 29th.
Excellent.
Yay! I'm done.
So,
okay, I'm over.
Who's excited for what?
Talk about whatever crap you want to talk about now.
Crap? Excuse me?
Content, sorry.
Who's quality content? Whatever crap.
So, Hell, what are you excited for?
I think we literally lost all our viewers, but oh well.
Yeah, well, thanks, Jam.
You're welcome.
Space Jam is officially cancelled.
Can you do me a space outro?
We literally have lost all our viewers. You realise that?
space outro. There. Woo! I'm still learning, okay? Like, I know like 3 chords. Give me a break.
I'm very proud of you. It sounds amazing.
When did they go? Was it before
Space Jam?
Was it before Space Jam or during Space Jam?
I think they realized the Space Jam was coming up and they went, no.
Yeah, probably.
Oh well.
Oh well.
If you want me in the stream, I have to have Space Jam.
I don't think they do. Right, so who's excited for what?
I mean, I mentioned Outlast 2 coming out on the Switch, which seems a bit like, out of left field.
Well, it kind of is, isn't it? The thing is Switch really the platform for a survival horror game that sort of takes things to the nth level? Why is that coming out on Switch?
It is kind of like... I mean, it was kind of weird when Nintendo had Bayonetta on their console.
This is true.
And that was like, well, here's a promiscuous woman on the family-friendly Nintendo console, but okay, good on you, Nintendo, for branching out.
Yeah, I was kind of proud of them for that.
Now we've got nitty-gritty, shock value Outlast on the Switch.
I think they're just sort of... Are they just grabbing everything they can, do you think? Anything goes.
I don't think it's a bad thing that they're expanding their horizons.
It's just weird, though, isn't it? For Nintendo, this is the same Nintendo who said you're only allowed to release 2 or 3 games a year, or whatever the hell the limit they put on. Do you remember that on one of their previous consoles? And they actually put a limit on what developers and publishers could release on their platform because they were so paranoid about, stagnating. Yeah. Whatever.
But then it's
stagnating.
In fact, actually, the Switch is more friendly to developers. Like, I mean, for instance, this thing. Okay, Stardew Valley, an indie game, is on the Switch, and that in and of itself is really cool. Because if you look on the Switch, if you go onto the actual online store on the Switch, you can actually see loads of independent developers on it. Yeah, and that is so cool. Because, like,
I mean, as an indie machine, I think it worked great as an indie machine. I mean,
it would work fantastic as an indie machine. It's such a friendly machine that having an indie game on it is like
perfect. Yeah. I mean, one game you should look out for, Hell, is Battle Chefs. Or is it Battle Chasers? Is it Battle Chasers? Hang on. Let me check.
That sounds like that game we played at your place where...
No, that's a different game. That's a different game. Oh. Yeah, it does. It's... that was... what the hell's that called? Anyway.
Battle Chasers, Night War on Steam.
Battle Chef. It was Battle Chef. Battle Chef Brigade. So this is apparently on Switch as well. I really want to play this one myself. Battle Chef Brigade is... it was on sale actually recently. I almost bought it while it was on out of that sale, and I probably should have done while it was on sale. So it's a match 3 game with a platforming element, and what you have to do is your match 3 is about cooking, and you've got to create a more delicious meal than your opponent by mixing the right match 3 things. Okay, so you'll get told that you have certain ingredients that you've got to hit and certain recipes you've got to follow. But you don't always have control over what goes in there because it relies on the match 3 mechanics. And then you've also got the platforming mechanics where you've got to go and gather the ingredients to use in the match 3 mechanics. So,
actually, I kind of like that.
Yeah, it looks really good. And I'm looking forward to playing that first chance again.
What's the art style in it? Like, of the game?
If you look on stream, it's very sort of cartoony.
Yeah, my stream's crashed for some reason.
Oh, Sleepy is
annoyed
at me for playing my guitar.
Annoyed at you for... Maybe it was you.
His room is like directly above mine.
Yeah. Plus, to be fair, Hell, maybe it was you who drove the viewers away with your guitar. It might have been you who drove the viewers away with your guitar. Is what I meant to say.
So I like it. So it's your fault we lost the viewers.
So you're banned from playing guitar. You're banned from talking about space, and I'm banned from doing a show.
Yeah.
But no, I like the idea of this. I think the idea of mixing like match 3 with platforming is very brave as well.
Yeah.
And it works quite well apparently from what I've heard. So basically, as you can see, you've got to slay monsters to get the ingredients for the meals. Do you know what I mean?
So if you kill like an alien tiger thing, you get a donut. Or you get like a sausage.
You get alien tiger meat.
Or you get like you kill that alien tiger and you get lettuce out of it.
No, you'll get alien tiger meat out of it, obviously.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like... So do they have like angry leafy plants? Like
I'm not sure about that. I don't think so.
Gotta have onions as a base, always, in your dishes. Always.
Oh, what's it called?
What's that? Onion.
Not everything has to have onion.
What's that anime about cooking?
There's a few. Yakitate Japan was my favourite. Yakitate Japan was my favourite. It was about baking. Oh, what a great anime that was.
No, it's not that.
Yeah, Yakitate. We still got Outlast 2 on the topic as well.
Oh, yeah. Before we change that.
Yeah, so what anything else anybody's looking forward to? Well, we want to talk about Far Cry 5, don't we?
Yeah, I think
I wanted to talk about Far Cry 5.
Just bring it up by.
There's a DLC for a game that actually I'm a big fan of coming out. So the game itself is called Don't Starve.
Oh my word, I love that.
You probably both actually know about it.
Yeah.
And it's had a couple of pieces of DLC. The latest DLC that's coming out is Hamlet.
Well, so you're actually talking about Don't Starve DLC because I've got to change my thing.
Oh, yeah.
I thought we were doing Far Cry 5, damn it. Right, gotta... Jesus Christ. I probably shouldn't have drank alcohol tonight, but, you know. It was the only thing I had in my fridge. I was like, right, that'll do.
That'll do.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so it's...
We have a drunk episode, like, every Friday. We just replay what we've already played, but then we just...
That was my stream last night. That's probably why the camera was blooming out of sync
Orange juice for the
audio. Because I was bloody tanked by the time I got to the pub with my brother. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, not drinking saves you a lot of money.
I can attest to that.
Well, when my brother bought me drinks, it doesn't matter. It's all free.
Oh.
No, then it's alright.
Mooching off a family! Hurrah!
No, it's not
me, I brought a
We-
bottle of Malibu around his house, and he doesn't
we
even
take
like it. So every
turns.
time I go around there, it's still there, and I can just drink a little bit because it's the only drink. Then it tastes really nice, and actually you can actually drink it on its own, and it's so good. And then, yeah, he can leave it in his house, and he won't drink it. So every time I go around there, as long as I'm not driving, I have a little bit, and it's really good. I love it. Like every day it gets smaller and smaller, but he never touches it. Just like. Anyway, let's talk about Far Cry 5. You can
Well,
fly
hang on,
planes.
we haven't finished. So what DLC were you talking about?
Oh,
Right.
sorry. Yeah, you've.
It's Don't Starve Hamlet. So I mean, from the very beginning in Don't Starve, there were little pig villages, and they're basically like pig men who would who would sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes aggro on you if you hit any of them, but would really generally just aggro on aggro on actual monsters around you and stuff. So actually they were really helpful in, oh god, I'm dealing with something that I can't deal with, I'm not equipped for this. Run to the pig village.
Yeah.
But Hamlet is, they've taken the pig villages and they've basically ran with them from what I can see, and it looks like there's another new character to play as, which is always welcome, because whenever there's a new character, I spend 4 hours just learning more about that character and how to play as it. But
God,
yeah,
I remember those buffaloes now. It's all coming back to me.
Oh, not the buffaloes. They're the best.
Not coming back. But yeah, it's just
I remember.
So what does the Hamlet thing actually add then? Because you said it
yeah.
takes the gameplay with the pigs, but what can you actually do?
So basically, it adds so there's pig villages. It adds a pig city.
So more villages. I'm looking at Google Images now, but I'm not seeing anything about.
I'm just pulling it up because I got it on my wish list, so I'm just pulling it up on Steam so that I can actually give you. Because I had a little look at it and I was like, actually, this looks really rad.
I can see
And I'm
different
very
coloured
excited for
houses.
it.
Or I don't know if that's a mod, but there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's about 6 different houses you can get,
Yeah,
and the
so
pigs
it's
have like clothes on.
well, yeah. So it introduces more like quote unquote civilized pigs and stuff. It introduces shops and stuff, which actually is really interesting because it seems to be introducing an almost like
Wasn't the big fat guy
almost
basically?
like Harvest Moon element to it.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's gonna be interesting because as far as I can see from what they've actually offered so far regarding the DLC, the city and everything isn't on the standard Don't Starve island that you're on.
Right.
So obviously in Don't Starve you can walk around and you eventually kind of figure out, oh, I'm on this island and there is no way off of it.
Really? I thought you just kept going.
No, there is an end to it. Yeah.
Oh.
It is a very big. Yeah, it is a very big world. And obviously it's all procedurally generated and everything.
Can you actually go around the whole like river there?
Yeah.
That game took me so long to
I
get
just
the
thought
hang
it
of,
did.
but once you get the hang of that game, it's so fun.
Yeah, no, it is.
It's hard though.
There's just
really
so
hard.
much to do, and
Yeah. I mean, it's hard getting past like the first couple of nights, and then even after that, it's every night's a challenge. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's.
Have any of you played the multiplayer, but like Don't Starve Together?
No, I'd love to do that though. We should do that as a stream, maybe.
We
I
totally
played it with
should.
Chris.
That'd be a very good
Chris,
idea.
it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
We totally should because, like, again, that's another of those games where, like, that's another of those games where it would be so much better to play it with people you can properly communicate with rather than just random people online.
Especially with like French people, you can't understand them.
Why French specifically, Jam?
Why are you being racist?
I know, like, everybody knows how to understand German people.
What?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Because German people know how to speak English.
I don't even know how to respond to him sometimes.
Am I the only one who thinks that? Like, every German person knows how to speak English, right? Right?
What are you talking about? How can you say that about anything? Not even every English person knows how to speak English. Right, look at you. Right, so Don't Starve, the base game, is $10.99 at the moment on Steam. I'm pretty sure they'll have a sale at some point. There's I didn't realize there were so many variations on there.
So then, I assume there's new items and stuff you can make and craft.
Yeah.
Are any of the items actually change the gameplay? Like, because the big fat pig that's normally there, he's basically the same as a shop pig. You stuff a bunch of gold in his mouth, or he sits on it, or whatever he does to it, and then he like spits out some sort of random thing.
Yeah.
You use it to craft whatever. But
Shipwrecked looks interesting. Don't Starve Shipwrecked.
New Shipwreck.
Yeah, Shipwreck. There's a DLC, Don't Starve Shipwrecked.
Oh right, yes.
Yeah.
That
looks interesting. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
anyway, so this one, what are they like the actual pieces they add? What sort of gameplay does it change? Like, do they just add more?
So it offers it introduces this Pigman city with shops and everything, and like not like randomized giant pig shops, but like actual you give them stuff and they give you specific items sort of thing, which is going to be a very interesting like kind of take on this completely like self-reliant game.
Yeah, because you have to rely on you collecting everything yourself. There's no way. No point.
I know they've also like there's more because obviously with Don't Starve there's a load of like exploration things about it, and there's ruins you can explore, and you're constantly kind of stumbling upon something and going, the hell is this?
Yeah.
And like
I like the weird big worm things that are like hairy and stuff, and they just sit there and then they all like squished up, and then you just jump in it and it just goes.
Yeah.
And then you just jump in it.
The wormholes.
Yeah, whatever they are. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it really is a game where it's like, you could be playing it for days and days and days, and one day you'll just stumble upon something you've never seen before, and you'll just be like, what do I do here then?
I remember the first time I came up with those the bird creatures with the really long legs. And I
Yes.
literally walked up to it and it just started chasing me and I'm like, ah! I just kept on running and running and running forever. Because I think I tried to steal its egg or something and it just constantly ran after me and I think
that's what you get for trying to steal eggs.
Well,
they do lay eggs, don't they?
The thing, yeah, no, they do.
Yeah.
But the really interesting thing about Don't Starve is that a lot of the time the aggro actually seems to be a bit lagged. So they don't, all the aggressive and hostile mobs don't automatically aggro onto you for a couple of moments.
Yeah,
and
it gives
what
you
that
a chance
actually means.
Yeah. Sorry, go.
I was just gonna say what it actually means is every new encounter there's a moment of, are you gonna chase me? Are you friendly? Are you not? What's going on here? Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah. You're like, right, I'm gonna stand around for a minute, see if he follows me. If he does, it's too late. If not, I'm alive. But it gives you a little bit of time, because otherwise, if they did auto aggro like instantly,
it would
you
be.
would just die too much. Yeah. But I like the. I was gonna say, I just like the some of those things you can create, which like gives you extra lives and stuff like that. So when you do die, you do something really stupid, you're still okay. You're not gonna. That's what the Don't Starve together. You keep respawning, and every time you respawn, you lose 10 health.
Yeah. So eventually, and also all your items out in the wilderness.
Yeah, that's also quite bad. But yeah, I remember like I was playing with Christopher, and when we were playing, basically my health got down to 10, and then if you lose again, you just stay at 10. So you can't do anything. You just die every time. If you get hit once, you die. So it makes your life horrible if you die too many times. And whereas the actual main game, if you die, you die. That's it. Game over. Right.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there are like things you can craft that will bring you back to life, but those are like, they're not the easiest to craft.
It's not something you can be like, oh, I'm about to die. Let me just quickly make this to get my way out of it.
I don't actually think it is even something you can craft. I think there's like rare totems that you can come across and you can activate it. And
then the lightning bolt like comes down.
And once you respawn, it's like, okay, well, you've used that totem. Can't go back to it.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. At least because obviously, a lot of the time when you're playing it, you spend multiple hours just on one particular base, and you do something stupid, and you're just screwed.
And you're like, right, I'm gonna.
Yeah, exactly. But thankfully, there are some stuff in the way to stop that.
Yeah.
To stop that frustration. But yeah, it sounds like the pigmen things would, instead of they're just their crazy ass faces when you look at them, they're actually trying to do something helpful.
Yeah.
Instead of just go oink and go.
But yeah, I mean, Don't Starve has had quite a few different pieces of DLC, and each piece of DLC takes it in a different direction. So it's going to be interesting to see, because obviously we don't actually have the full information yet about what this DLC entails and what new items it's going to be. In the trailer, kind of like, there's this little pig totem, so that's definitely going to have a part in it, and it's going to be interesting what they have planned for all of that.
I hope they still have the fat guy. I miss him. Well, if he disappears, because he just sits there on his like
he
straw.
Just sits there and waits for you to feed him.
Yeah. It's like one of these really just hugely large mass, which just doesn't want to move, just doesn't do anything. It's just like, right, everything I want in life, just come to me, and it'll be alright. That would be nice if I could do that. Just sit in bed.
Anything to add about Don't Starve, Skittle?
I think we should play it together. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't played it for such a long time.
Yeah, no, you can. You can.
I thought it was just two. Okay.
No,
it'd be nice to experience that multiplayer. I enjoyed what I played of it single player, even, but yeah, I remember unlocking all the characters, which was fun. And then I sort of lost interest after unlocking the characters. Because I got it for free, I think, as a PSN Plus thing that they gave away, and I didn't expect to actually enjoy it. But then, yeah, once I started learning how to play it, I thought that was good. Difficult.
Silence.
Definitely a game where it's going to be playing with people is going to give a new lease of life, sort of thing.
Yeah, no, I definitely think so. Yeah, we should check it out. Oxygen not included. What the hell is that?
I haven't.
So, should we discuss Far Cry 5?
Yes.
Yeah, do that.
Far Cry 5.
I'm not gonna buy it straight away. I know that.
No, same here. Same here.
It's a lot of money.
Well, I don't know what to expect. I think it'll be amazing. Far Cry 4 was amazing.
You can fish.
But I agree with what Total Biscuit said about it. It was too similar to Far Cry 3. But I'd only just played Far Cry 3 before Far Cry 4 came out because I got it as a PSN freebie. So I was really chuffed when I got Far Cry 3 for free, and I didn't know whether I'd like it or not. And then as soon as I started playing it, I was like, oh my god, this is brilliant, because I've never played anything quite like it
But before. I think Far Cry 5 is going to be much different, because there's two gameplay features which are going to change the entire game completely. One of them is no towers and no minimap.
Throwing away the towers, I think, actually, is a...
It's a really good thing.
Big move for Far Cry, and I think it's a move in the right direction.
Yeah,
but focusing more back on the exploration and trying to figure out where you're going instead of just let's go to a waypoint A, then let's go to waypoint B, and then waypoint C, and then waypoint, and just follow going back that way. Whereas now you actually have to figure out where you're going, and if you don't, at least I watched some of the videos, they don't have a little marker telling you to go this place. It tells you to go to a location, and you have to follow the signs and the kind of location in the area that it's in to find the location you need to go to. So that exploration part of it should be quite important.
I mean, I think as far as open world games went, they were one of the better ones. I don't think they quite mastered it. I say as far as open world games go, I feel like the Far Cry games were on the better end of them. I still don't think they mastered it though, not like Witcher or GTA, but there was a lot more to do in them than
like Wildlands was a good open world game. I really like that one.
Which one?
Ghost Recon Wildlands.
I never played it.
Oh, Google it. It's quite good.
I know I know they've actually kept over some aspects from Far Cry Primal. So it's
What's this new one set in? Isn't it America or something? What's the theme?
It's set in America, and the whole thing is basically about combating this cult, which I don't know. I've always had a morbid fascination with cults anyway.
Yeah.
It's
what era is it? What era is it set in? Do we know?
Oh, let's see. Because I think it's supposed to be modern day, but let's see.
No, it's definitely not modern day. Definitely not.
No, it looks like sort of not quite Wild West, but maybe
because it was the dawn of
40s or 50s or something.
Stuff, so it was supposed to have been 19 somethings.
Maybe even 30s.
Yeah.
Early 1900s, I would say. Just by the aesthetics.
I'm looking on Wikipedia. It doesn't actually say when it's set.
Racism and stuff like that was quite high. Whatever years.
Right.
That kind of stuff stopped.
What do you mean when?
What I'd say is do you see on the stream right now what this says here?
My stream's not loading.
Yeah, I see it.
Right. I'm not joking, right? I know I've mentioned him before, but this guy, SkillUp, does the best reviews you've ever seen. I would strongly recommend watching this after the stream. Far Cry 5, a brief review. That's less
sleeping after the stream.
That's less than half the length.
I'm gonna see as well.
That's less than half the length of a normal SkillUp review. So
is that a good or a bad thing?
That's I don't know whether it's a good or a bad thing because I haven't watched that one myself yet. But trust me, right? His videos, when it comes to his reviews especially, I think he's the best video game reviewer I've ever seen in my entire life. His videos are so good. I watched them more than once.
You're supposed to say that your video game reviews are so amazing.
haven't started doing video game reviews yet.
He doesn't have any video game reviews.
But if I do, that's what I want to do.
Right there.
Well, I do. I want to start doing game reviews like the ones he does, but I wouldn't even know where to start because they're so good.
Well, you find a game and then you review it.
It's not. No, you watch, mate. His game reviews are 45 minutes long. All right, they're not just reviews; they're like movies. You watch his game reviews; they're like movies or like mini movies, but they're freaking brilliant. They never get dull, they never get boring, and they just like wow. You just end up sitting there thinking, "Oh my god, I have so much like enthusiasm for this game right now." He really like puts that, I don't know, enthusiasm into you, like about video games and stuff. Seriously, check him out. Watch his reviews; they're amazing.
I'm rather partial to zero punctuation myself. I like my game reviews with a healthy dose of cynicism.
Well, I usually do. I usually do. Don't get me wrong. He's not. Like he's not. He's not. Oh God, you can't trust them. They say every game's amazing because they don't say otherwise.
Well, no, they like properly break it down and to make it nice and simple. It's only like 2-minute video versus like watching your half-an-hour video.
Yeah, but they're good. He goes into unbelievable amounts of detail about things.
If I'm looking up a quick video and
he doesn't,
in-depth review, maybe.
He's not just a fanboy. He doesn't just say, "Oh, this game is perfect and I love it and that game's great." He'll sit there and say,
"I do that easily."
Right, here's what's bad about it.
They get paid probably quite a bit, but
what?
I can't believe we're going into the politics of game reviews.
What are you saying?
Right. Well, we need to go off a tandem because otherwise, it's nearing the end of the stream. What else would we expect to be doing? We have to have some sort of tandem racial dispute.
I reckon in future we should like end the stream with Space Jam because it means that like I can just like wander off and leave you to deal with him. Going through Space
I think
Jam.
that's right. I think having Space Jam halfway through was not a good move.
We just banned Space Jam.
Basically,
I needed the toilet.
You wanted to go to the toilet, so you were like, right, you're gonna fit in Space Jam, and basically, I did it on purpose. I decided to make sure I leave the main segment about the space station until you came back. But I think it's quite interesting. Whether or not you do it, I didn't really care, honestly.
It is.
I need
quite
to vent my space knowledge.
But you're slagging off my bloody favorite reviewer for being 45 minutes long of a review. At least he doesn't waffle on about space station for 15 minutes. Exactly.
Oh, my word. 15 minutes is different than half an hour. And you weren't even watching it, so true.
I don't know. There's a lot of There's a lot of gameplay to go over.
Oh, it's quiet. Let's not have quietness. Right, what are we talking about?
No, we can't have the quiet.
Right.
No wrong with quiet.
Shall I get random facts out?
No. If we're done, we're
I'll
done.
I'll find an interesting one.
No, you won't.
Please don't.
If we're done, then we're done.
You really don't want...
I mean, what I will say, I've got to wake up in 6 hours.
Right. Well, one last thing. What we'll end up? Yeah. We'll end on what's it called? Ready Player One or something?
Yes, Ready Player One.
Is it on the pit? Is it at the cinema?
Yes. However, what I will say, Ready Player One, I'm afraid I can't actually go see it with you two.
Why?
Because I need to see it with my father and my little brother.
Oh my god, you traitor!
Yeah,
wait, what are we talking about, guys?
I
thought we were...
I only got into Ready Player One because my dad was into Ready Player One. So like...
What's Ready Player One?
Traitor.
Is that VR film?
Traitor.
Yeah, it's...
Traitor.
How do you not know about what... Okay, Skittle, I get it. I betrayed you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I'm just trolling you. I've got to troll you. No, it looks fun. I definitely watch it.
I know this film.
Steven Spielberg. Oh Christ! I didn't realize it was him. Is he really? Because I feel like he's starting to lose it. I hope he doesn't disappoint.
It's gonna be interesting. I mean, it
looks good from the trailers.
Fan service.
But then Tomb Raider looked good from the trailers.
Stuff like Overwatch and all that kind of references in there as well. I heard so.
Yeah. I mean, there's the Iron Giant, there's, Overwatch, like you just said. I'm pretty sure I saw Lara Croft thrown in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Original Lara Croft, not reboot Lara Croft.
The gay version. Well, not the gay, but whatever you would say. I don't know. She's not the Lara Croft who, we all grew up with.
I mean, I actually need to go ahead and reread the book so that I've got that fresh in my mind before I go and see it.
What's this a book for? Oh, the Ready Player One.
Ready Player One, yeah.
I shouldn't be showing these movie trailers because these will get flagged up as copy. I actually need to stop that right now because these will literally get flagged up as copyright strikes, and then I have to edit the video, and it's a pain in the butt. It's probably too late. I probably already did that to myself right now. Oh joy! At least I'm off for the next couple of days, which is good. So yeah, okay. Well, I guess we're done. Good job. Good show, everybody. Yeah, I don't mind if I watch that one at the pictures or not. It's fine. But yeah, I think I'll probably wait, see how Far Cry 5 pans out before paying top amount of money for it. And we should have a look at doing some multiplayer stuff soon. Why can't I hear you? Hell? I've lost audio. Why have I lost audio? I can't hear either of you. Why is that? I can't hear you. Well, there you go. That just goes to show we obviously meant to end it here. I don't know why your audio suddenly died. That's so weird. What the hell happened? No, that's just the YouTube video. I have no idea what happened to your audio. How strange. How weird. Because she turned up. Yeah, I have no idea. You guys have got audio at your end, yeah? That's so weird. Very weird. Right, well, I guess we'll have to call it. Yeah, we'll have to stop it there. I literally don't know what happened to the audio. It just died randomly. So if you want to give a wave because nobody can hear you anymore. Yeah, I assume you can hear me. I have no idea what happened to what's Discord done. I don't know. I guess that's a sign that we have to call it a night. So thanks for joining me, guys. Thanks anybody for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye. Oh, that's not the one I want. Probably should have done that one. Oh my God, what a disaster.